Greetings, this is Polly of the Spooky Polly. I'm going to talk about two issues. One is the signal flap, that was the crisis of the week. And, by the way, this is going to happen every week. A different crisis. They'll play out one week, then it'll disappear. You better get used to that. That's how the media is going to play this. On the signal flap, I learned two things. One, Republicans have got to learn. The Trump people have got to learn to be a little more careful. They have a hostile media there. But maybe the media is supposed to be hostile. I don't know. It was during the Biden administration, but it's during this one. I don't know how that Goldberg character got in on this conversation on the Signal app. Whoever invited him on needs to be fired. The others didn't know about it. This was a tremendous breach in security. Goldberg is trying to get brownie points by saying that, well, I didn't do anything till the Houthis were bombed. He didn't, because if he did, he'd be violating the Espionage Act. And no doubt the Atlantic lawyers said, no, you wait till it's over. Unfortunately for him, it was successful. So if it would have been a blocked mission, well, he really had a story. But as it is, everything went smooth. A bunch of Houthis got bombed. And everything seemed to be fine. Except he was in on the conversation. I don't know about the Signal app. For all I know, that could be a CIA plant, for heaven's sakes. Later they said, oh, this is legal. Yeah, maybe to drop in on your conversation. I don't know. But whoever put him in on that call, it's gotta go. And I don't want to hear about, oh, well, no one's responsible here. Yes, someone is responsible. Hold someone responsible. You know, if you're gonna run this, if you're gonna be the revolutionary that Trump is doing all this, you're gonna have people there that maybe aren't on your side. You think are on your team. You made that mistake in the first term. There were people there that were trying to play up to the press or actively work against Trump. You find them, get rid of them. Some guy did that. It got Goldberg on. I mean, Goldberg is such a fantastic liar. He said, I didn't even know this was true. Whoa, when the Houthis got bombed, I said, what, this is nonsense. You knew, but call a person who told you to be on that line there, that what this was. And you sat on it because you had no choice. Say that, oh, well, we were just innocent on this. Now, you gotta, the second thing is that it's just a scandal of the week. And now the trade policy is coming up for this week. This is how it's gonna go. And this is just, no, I'm not gonna get excited over. The second one, however, I am. And Marine Le Pen is found guilty of lawfare in France. She was the populist right candidate, and she was leading the polls. So naturally, they went after her. But it sounds familiar. And they found her guilty. That sounds familiar, too. Now, France isn't America. They don't have our protections. No, only America has this type of freedom that we have. So the oligarchy comes after Trump. There are laws on which slow them down, and ultimately failed in Trump's case. The oligarchy is much more powerful in Europe, and I'm not sure Le Pen will be able to beat this. What it does mean is, if Le Pen is not on the ballot there when they cast for their election, they cast their votes, it's not a legitimate election. If Trump had been taken off the ballot against Joe Biden or Kamala Harris, it would not have been a legitimate election. Yeah, the American people would have known that. It's up to the French people. Tell their government this is a no-go. I'm waiting to see protests in the streets. There are some protests. I no doubt the Macron government, which says this is not political, means it's political, will probably try to use their police forces to beat this down. I'm gonna say this. In America, we have freedoms that no one else has. They also did that in Romania. They overthrew an election that the populist right had won. And Europe said, oh, well, okay, that's the way it goes. They don't want them in there. They don't want Le Pen in there. They surely don't want Trump in here. But that's our decision. And I hope the French people have enough guts and fortitude to say that it's going to be our decision, not the courts, as to who's going to be the next Prime Minister of France. On my last story, George Foreman died. He was 76 years old. They say there's no second act in life. Foreman had 3. His first iteration, of course, was tough young guy from the streets, wins the Olympic championship in boxing, waves the American flag. Remember, it's 1968, so I was a bit revolutionary back then. Waves the American flag and goes on to win heavyweight title from Joe Frazier. He's kind of a villain in his first iteration. He's a big, strong guy. He always frowned, looked a bit like Sonny Liston. And he lost to Muhammad Ali, whichever one applauded. Yeah, Ali, boo, Foreman. He retired. Well, he boxed a little more after that, then he retired. But I remember what he said. He said that he had what he wanted early in life, fame and fortune. And he was unhappy. It didn't bring the happiness that he wanted. So he just walked away from it. Heck with it. And became a preacher. Shaved his head. Galloped away down there. Well, he was doing this for a while there, and he was always smiling. He was the happy George. And he picked up boxing again after years of retirement. And darn it, he won heavyweight championship again. And this time, he was the hero. He was always applauded. Oh, there's George, hey! And he wins the title, and then he loses it again and retires. It wasn't finished yet. He comes out this thing with the George Foreman grill. And he made many millions on it. Until finally, George died. This is a redemption arc in America. You know, they say Muhammad Ali was the one of the main icons of the 1970s. Maybe so. The old American icon was George Foreman. He came up, knocked down, and came back again. That's as American as you can get. He was always a happy guy in the end. He was an easy interview. He was a believer. He was a Christian. And if you ever worry about his soul, I know the guys worry about it too much. Okay. This is Polly saying goodbye. Please subscribe. Okay. I'll see you again.